want to make sure that I acknowledge the sponsor of the show, Tiege Hanley, because Tiege Hanley sent me this new pack. They sent me the new Tiege pack, so I just literally pulled the paper out, got it out of the mail, and I started going through it, and I got a little bit more excited than I should. You know what I'm saying? So they did send me the Tiege pack, and I don't even know what this is yet. So I'm assuming this is what you get when you first order your Tiege, and I don't know what this is. Oh, this is dope. This is absolutely dope. Is this a nail kit? Ladies, get this for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. This is free. This just comes with it. 30% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Literally. Oh, snaps. I didn't know that they were sending it like this. Real talk. So this is the nail kit that they sending you. All right. So now you ain't looking like a dusty. This is a free gift straight from Tiege for the people that ordered the Tiege. They got the small one for the little hands like mine's. They got the big joints for your toenails. And then they got the joints at the bottom too. You know what I'm saying? For y'all that's a little bit more crustier than usual. All right, so that's one of the free gifts that Tiege got inside of the pack. And then, what is this? Says squeeze a quarter-size amount of Tiege Hanley body wash on the center of the wet bristles. Lather, scrub, rinse, and repeat for the perfectly satisfying wash every time. So that's inside of there also, right? Ooh, I can get my rubber ducky on right here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege for sending me that uncomplicated skincare for men. And then what we got in here? We got the actual Tiege pack, right? So this is the normal Tiege pack, but then they gave me the supersized joint for the people. They wanted me to show the people exactly what they got when they ordered that first Tiege pack, when you're getting your 30% off your first order, and then you get your free gifts. You get 2 free gifts, and then the 20% off for life. So the 20% off for life is a new thing. And dang, I ain't even got my keys on me to open this up. Maybe I can use the little nail clipper thing. I ain't got to buy no nail clipper for my new joint downtown. And then you get all of the washes, all of the scrubs, all of the AM, the PMs, and all of that stuff. So you got the whole thing inside of there for you to make sure you take care of yourself. But you got to make sure you take care of it every day. Right? We don't want to miss days. We don't want to be looking like dusties. It does not absolve you from being able to make sure that you brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. It don't fix the teeth problem. Don't fix you ironing your clothes. Don't fix you being able to take care of your business. But it absolutely makes sure that your skin is phenomenal, even when you're going between shaves. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege Hanley. We absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to hold us down. I might do an official Tiege commercial, but I like just talking authentically to the people. I like giving the people the authentic look of what it is that you're dealing with, and I want you to hear from me personally, because anybody can do that little pitch and they can make some little videos, but very few of us can actually speak to the products of exactly what it is that you're supposed to use. So yeah, Tiege Hanley, 30% off your first order, and then 20% off for life. That's the Anton Daniels pack, 20% off for life. Using any other Tiege pack, make sure that you go ahead and let that go. And make sure you tap into the link that's in the description and take care of it, all right? What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. It is Monday, July 1st, 2024, year of our Lord, and it is the first day of the month. And you know what the first day of the month is? It's the best time to join the Patreon. So we are dropping videos. Actually, I'm actually dropping the information. So what I like to do is I like to wait for the first of the month that I'm having the meetup. That way we can make sure we ain't got no dusties in, and we can make sure we give all of the information that we need. We're going to push Stock Club up to Thursday. I'm going to drop a video on Tuesday, and I'm dropping the actual information for the meetup. So all of the details for the meetup, that's coming later on this month on the 27th. So we're going to do a meetup in Houston on the 27th. All of the details for the meetup is going to drop today in the Patreon. I had to wait till the first of the month. Had to wait to make sure that we push that out, because we always want to make sure that we have a great event, and we don't want no dusties there that's not supposed to be there that got a little bit too much information. Because every single meetup that we've ever had has been awesome. It's been absolutely awesome. And so I want to make sure that you guys get all of the information and you get it at the right time. So the first of the month, that way anybody that's coming from out of town, I know it's going to be a lot of people flying in from Houston, flying into Houston. The first of the month is the best time to join the Bag Chasers. It's absolutely the best time to join the Bag Chasers. So make sure that you do that. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Shout out to everybody that is a part of the Chasers. All of my new members. What up, what up, what up? So everybody that's going to see me in Houston later on this month, I'm going to be there. Q going to be there. Mika going to be there. Rita going to be there. All of my people are going to be there. Quentin is going to be there. Everybody going to be there. So I'm looking forward to seeing y'all at the end of the month. Those of y'all that's going to come. And we're going to have a good time. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And I can't wait. I booked my plane tickets literally yesterday. So I will be there, and it's going to be awesome. So for everybody that's going to be there, I appreciate y'all. And we got a fun-filled week. We got Stock Club this week. We got videos this week. We got information this week, and it's going to be a lot of stuff happening. So thank you. Thank you guys for continuing to support and rock out. And thank y'all for all of y'all that's going in the group, going in the direction that we going in. And Discord. Make sure y'all link up in the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos. So I'm looking forward to seeing y'all. All right, so we got that. We got Tiege Hanley. So we recently signed our new deal with Tiege Hanley. So make sure y'all tap in with Tiege. 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Tiege will be on the Anton Daniels channel. They are officially sponsoring not only the Millionaire Morning Show, but the Anton Daniels channel and After Hours. So we're going to be running. We're going to push Tiege. We love Tiege. Tiege has been a long supporter of the show. They said, Anton, we love what you're doing, and we got to make sure that we support what we got going on over there. So shout out to Tiege Hanley. And if anybody want to get in contact with me from a business perspective, it's funny because Rita was showing me something on TikTok, and she was showing me that some person with Anton Daniels, named Anton Daniels, was reaching out and trying to holler at her. So shout out to all of the fake accounts. It's so much more difficult to get rid of fake accounts on TikTok than it is on other platforms. So I will never, ever do business with you or try to holler at you or shoot my shot inside of your DMs. I only do business on email. So email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com and we going to get it popping. And make sure you follow me on all of my official social media platforms. Those links are in the description. I do not have any backup accounts. So there is a lot of finessing and fraud going on out here. So please don't get finessed and please don't get defrauded out of your bag because I can't help you with that. All right. I'm going to do my best to be able to get these accounts removed, but I can't help y'all with that. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. What up, friends? What up, family? I appreciate y'all. I want to give an early shout out to my dog, Mike That Dude. Shout out to Mike That Dude for always hollering at me and making sure we taking care of on that front. Thank y'all to everybody that's waking up early on the West Coast. We love y'all. And I'm going to drop a video. Oh, man, I got so many videos for the Patreon this month. It's going to be dope. So, any more housekeeping? It's beginning of the month. Beginning of the month, second half of the year. I hope y'all not wasting it. I put a challenge out there for y'all to make $250,000 this year. Oh, it's a person that I need to hold accountable to, but we're gonna do that tomorrow. Because I got a full show. We got a full show already put together, so we're gonna do that tomorrow. One of the people that I did a review video on, dang, I might as well just go ahead and hit that right now. Y'all remember the guy, I forgot what his name was, the fading man? I'm not gonna dedicate a whole segment to him. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Y'all remember this guy named the fading man? I thought about not even doing this, but I said, you know, why not? We got to hold people accountable for what they do out here. We got to hold people accountable. Hold on one second. Give me a second. We might actually bring him to the front of the congregation tomorrow. I need to dedicate a whole segment on him. I might need to dedicate a whole segment to this guy. Yes. Yes. I might have to dedicate an entire segment to this guy. Yes, I might. I didn't realize it, but I very well may have to. So give me a second. His name is Bill Witherspoon. Bill Witherspoon. I'm sorry, y'all. I just got to make a small detour. This is the type of stuff that he's starting to send me. Give me a second. This is the type of emails he's sending me now. These are the type of emails that he's starting to send me. All right? So I just want y'all to know we will be having a whole conversation about this guy at some point later on this week. I just got to make sure that I deep dive into it and get into it. We will be having a whole conversation about the guy this week. So these are the type of emails that he's sending me. He said, our Head Dragon Associate members just subscribe to your channel to keep me informed regarding any negative comments made about me. My organization's chapters and members are active in every state. So then he put in a bunch of KKK Forever, Grand Dragons, and all of this stuff. So shout out to you, big dog. I'm definitely going to be having a conversation. I don't know if you understand how this social media thing works. I don't really know. And it's not going to go well for you, big dog. It's not going to go well for you. So I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that you understand that it's a reason why you can't get hired and a reason why it's going to be difficult for you to get hired in the future. So I will be reporting this. I will be sending this information out to the authorities. But before we get into that part later on in the week, we can look forward to that tomorrow. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. We're not going to get into it today. We're going to get into it tomorrow. All right? That is the emails that he have been sending me. I am going to be showing you guys the receipts. It is still saved. It is earmarked in my email. And we'll be dealing with that tomorrow. All right? I'm gonna show y'all how to deal with something when people do stuff like this and how to handle it appropriately. See, most of the time, us as men, especially black men, and you guys know, I don't align myself with people based off of race. I'm not. I don't believe in that. I believe in aligning myself with people based off of character. And so it's important for me to show you guys how to handle a situation like this appropriately. You don't go out, you don't crash out. You don't go and start responding to emails. You don't even send an email back. You just do what you do, and I'm going to show you how to do it and handle it appropriately. Because this ain't even a black and white issue. This is a character issue. But we're going to get to that later on in the week. I got a full show for y'all today. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. And turn on your notifications. All right, y'all ready to get to it? That's some of the stuff that y'all can look forward to this week. All right, y'all, let's get to it. First things first, quick hits. Quick hits is a segment of the show that we don't think that we necessarily have to dedicate an entire segment to it, but we definitely want to keep you guys informed on what's happening out in these streets. Let's get to it, y'all. First things first, a carjacker A carjacker leaves a baby on the side of the road, and it was captured by somebody else that was in a car. Check it out.
Tonight, detectives need your help identifying a man they say carjacked a mother and then drove off with her 3-year-old in the back seat.
Yeah, you're looking at the video, the moment he left that little girl on the sidewalk on the side of the road, then just drove off. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Trina Robinson.
And I'm Juwan Schrader. Good evening. Nico Clemens is live in Oakland Park with more from that mother and the man whose camera was recording at the time. Nico.
Well, Juwan, Trina, just imagine how frightening, how terrifying this was for this mother and her daughter. She says this man came out of nowhere to steal her SUV. Thankfully, he didn't get far, and her daughter was not hurt. But now she wants this man caught.
And I was just scared because she's a little baby.
She feared the worst.
So everything happened really fast. And I was just scared.
Scared that something terrible would happen to her 3-year-old daughter. A mother was driving in Oakland Park Wednesday with her daughter in the backseat when she says she got into an accident. The mother, who doesn't want us to identify her, told us over the phone she got out to exchange information with the other driver when a man got into her SUV and started to drive away. She says she grabbed the door and pleaded with him.
I was telling him my baby.
All while getting dragged. She says she held on for as long as she could before losing her grip and falling. BSO detectives say this is the man who drove off with her SUV.
That dude looked like a YouTuber. Anyways, intrusive thoughts coming to my head. Y'all are some real life demons out here. Y'all are real life demons out here. Imagine getting into a car accident. You do the right thing because you don't want to be a hit and run driver. You get out of your car in order to exchange information. Your baby is in a baby seat in the back seat. Somebody jumps into your car. You holding on for dear life. You're pleading with this man. Hey, my baby, my baby, my baby. I don't, oh my God, or whatever. Dude still takes off with your car, then pulls over on the side of the road and drops your baby just on the side of the road. With all of the human trafficking and stealing of kids and all of this stuff, with all of this stuff going on every single day. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that people do some of the craziest stuff. When y'all sent this to me, I said, man, I got to include this on Quick Hits. I got to include this on Quick Hits. Real talk. It's insane. It's absolutely insane that y'all will carjack a mother. Carjacking in itself is bad. And then you just going to drive off with her baby. And then because you don't want to be associated, you set her baby on the side of the road. These people need to be thrown under the jail. And I know that there's people that's a part of the diversity, equity, and inclusion say, no, let them out, let them go. No, man, these people need to go to jail, bro.
With her child still inside.
I was just thinking I wasn't going to see her again or something.
Detectives say the man eventually stops, takes the girl, still strapped in her car seat, out the SUV and leaves her on the sidewalk on West Commercial Boulevard.
My hard drive real quick. And
it's people that's actually giving this man credit, said, oh man, that was so nice of him. At least, man, this is foolishness. This is foolishness.
A man in a truck behind the SUV had a dash camera and it was recording. He got out and ran over to help. His name is Jorge Rosario. That's him in the orange shirt.
My hard drive, when I saw that, when he left her right there on the side.
Rosario said he called 911. The mother says moments later she caught up with her child and the Good Samaritans. Detectives say the man is caught on video again, ditching the SUV, then using the mother's credit card at a nearby Family Dollar. The mother says
Jesus Christ. Yo. So you go and you ditch the SUV, and you could tell that he did it before. This is not the first time that he's ever done it. So he ditches the SUV, and then he takes her credit card, he takes his shirt off, he goes into the Family Dollar where there's more cameras, and then he goes and uses her credit card. This is crazy, bro.
Thankful she has her daughter, thankful for the help she got, and now wants detectives to find this man.
I don't want anyone else to go through what happened.
Listen, we got carjacking, we have child abandonment, we have credit card fraud. Just throw the whole book at him. Just throw the whole book at him. Let me get this guy again. Let me see if I can find him one more time. We know he was in Family Dollar. He had to go and get some toiletries. That's him. That's him. Went into Family Dollar. I thought that in these establishments is no shirt, no shoes, no service. No shirt, no shoes, no service. Dude went into Family Dollar and then just went shopping right after he carjacked the lady. Stole her car, took her credit card, went and got some toiletries, and then dipped her and then abandoned her car. People work hard for their stuff, and their family is on the line. But that's what's happening over there in Carjack land, okay? In addition to that, a San Francisco bar is behind a $4.7 billion lawsuit that was won against the NFL and Ticket Sundays. Check it out.
Nestled right on 9th Avenue near Irving Street is Mucky Duck. It's your typical sports bar. Neon beer signs in the window, fans sitting at the counter, and signs telling you they've got the game on. But the owners of this San Francisco bar just secured a major victory.
It's David and Goliath. I love it. It's amazing.
The bar is the David. The Goliath is the National Football League. On Thursday, a jury ruled the league violated antitrust laws with their Sunday ticket subscription. That package allowed people at home and businesses to watch every NFL game. However, it was only available through one provider, and the lawsuit says the league sold it at an inflated price.
The deal that Sunday Ticket and the NFL had always struck me as unfair.
Robert Freund practices e-commerce law and says this subscription was hurting consumers.
The prices are just thrust upon them. Here's the deal, take it or leave it. And that's really exactly the point of why antitrust laws exist.
I don't understand. Now, listen, I'm not necessarily like on the side of big business or small business or David versus Goliath. But what I'm trying to understand is, how is it an antitrust law issue if y'all don't have to subscribe to the service? Why do people feel like they have to patronize these businesses if you don't agree with it? Why do you feel like you need to do it? And so y'all go and y'all sue the NFL. And I honestly believe that this is what's wrong with America, is that you can do this, or people feel entitled to go and watch a football. Why do y'all have to subscribe to the football game? If I don't like something, like I didn't last year, I didn't like the direction that the Pistons was going. I didn't like paying tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year for Pistons tickets. I decided that I don't want to do it anymore. Why do y'all feel like y'all have, oh man, they sold it to us at an inflated price? Y'all need to stop subscribing to these people in the first place. It's not adding no value into your life. Why do you feel like you need to give them money? Oh, it's an antitrust law. They need to offer more options for a cheaper price. No, y'all need to stop spending money on stuff that's not adding value into your life. And I know that the people are like, oh man, this is David versus Goliath. No, this is idiot versus.
Those consumers include Noah Roberts, who works at Little Shamrock around the corner from Mucky Duck. He says the Sunday ticket subscription was not the best for their business.
You want to be able to have every game on, and then when one league just charges an insane amount of money, your hands are tied because, yeah, you have to put it on, and then, two, you're losing money. So what do? Do you lose the fans? Do you not sell beer? What do you do?
The league now has to pay over $4 billion in damages. The owners of Mucky Duck did not want to comment because,
of course, the league is not going to pay that. All they're going to do is they're going to appeal it. They're going to appeal it.
The NFL is,
and if there ever was to have to pay it, the lawyers is going to get the majority of the money, and the consumers ain't going to get nothing.
Planning on appealing this decision. They said in a statement, "We will certainly contest this decision as we believe that the class action claims in this case are baseless and without merit. But until that appeal goes through, those we spoke with say what Mucky Duck did is a win for sports bars and consumers everywhere."
Somebody said he owns a sports bar. What is he supposed to do? The same thing that happens when you can't put on a fight. I remember going to watch certain fights, right? And certain places couldn't play it because they didn't have authorization to do so, or they didn't pay the fee. And so either pay the fee or change your business or evolve with your business practices. You're not required, or you don't own, like you can't make nobody do nothing. I don't know. This is crazy. I guess we live in an entitled world. And then last but not least, a security guard whose job, who was held accountable during an interview, quit the interview, but then he wound up finding a new job. Check it out.
Percy Payne says at his security job Monday night at 6th and Brushy, he saw two young men going inside this underground garage, the door stuck open. He believes they were trying to steal his car. He tried to detain them and says they attacked him. Payne had to call 911 twice for an officer to respond.
Like that security
During
guard.
Fox 7.
That security guard is rumble in the jungle. Hey, we need to allow for our security guards and our whatever the people that walk around the store in order to prevent you from stealing and stuff like that. We need to enable them to be able to throw hands and carry weapons and all of that stuff, because those are the people that's protecting and holding up America.
Interview earlier this week, his supervisor walked up and told him there's a policy against doing interviews in uniform. Things escalated with Payne deciding to quit.
Take your uniform off?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But they kept arguing.
You touched him.
Is it my fault?
I would say yes, every bit of it is your fault.
Payne, speaking to us Friday, talks about the attention he's gotten.
It's overwhelming, but I really do appreciate all the positive energy and everything that's been happening.
When asked if he was worried about what came next after he quit.
In a way I was, but I still had to think positive. I got to hope.
And he was incredibly respectful throughout the entire process.
Kid with me, so I got to think positive. So if he see me worrying, he gonna worry.
And after thinking he had to job search.
I woke up the next morning, was about to really get on Indeed and just start scrolling, because I know I've been looking in the medical field and a lot of stuff, but something keeps drawing me back to security.
That's where Michael Cargill came in, seeing our story on social media.
He deserved better. That was just insane, the fact that he was in that predicament in the first place, and the fact that his supervisor was blaming him, his company was blaming him as the person that was in the wrong.
He made the decision to hire him just like that.
That is the first time me hiring someone, not knowing anything about that person, not knowing anything about their background, but the fact that he's a level 2 security officer, that tells me he has a good background. So, hey, I'm confident he's going to be an outstanding person.
Payne will be starting his new job Monday.
He's level 2 security, unarmed. I'll make him a level 3, an armed security guard. I'll give him the training.
Blessing. You know, I'm like, yeah, this is a blessing, so I'm going to take this.
There are some good people still left out in the world, y'all. There are some phenomenal people that do some great things. And so make sure that y'all continue to support these people, because we already have an environment and a society that's out of control. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your quick hits. All right. Let's continue on with the show. We got a full show for y'all today. First and foremost, I want to get into this whole nepotism conversation. All right. I want to get into this nepotism conversation because I just can't believe the amount of people that is moving the way that they're moving, considering after Bronny James was drafted. Now, I didn't know that the whole nepotism conversation would be a big deal as a result of Bronny getting drafted. I just thought that people was just going to keep it 100% sports. But now people have resulted to attacking him, to attacking LeBron James, to going off on Rich Paul. And it bothered me. It bothered me so much that I started to have conversations even outside of YouTube, which inspired me to then start making some videos and speaking my mind about the situation. Now, I'm incredibly perplexed, and I'm going to share why I'm perplexed. But first, before we get into it, I wanted to review this Stephen A. Smith narrative, because I don't know what he's going to say. I haven't seen the video yet. But I wanted to review this Stephen A. Smith thoughts on Bronny James and review it in real time. Check it out.
We all know that Bronny James is a story to be talking about, right? So we're going to get started with that right now. Yesterday, the Los Angeles Lakers selected Bronny James, the son of LeBron James, with the 55th overall pick in the second round. LeBron and his son now officially have the opportunity to be the first father-son duo to play in the NBA at the same time and for the same team. Reaction to this story has been very mixed, to say the least, and many out there are claiming nepotism is the only reason Bronny is now a Laker. I had a lot to say, but before I show you something that I said earlier today, let me say this. Bronny James, thank God he's in this position. If y'all remember, he suffered cardiac arrest last year while on the campus of USC. We didn't know what his status was. We didn't know what his health was like. We didn't know whether or not he'd ever be able to play basketball again. And I remember when we first heard it, we didn't know if he was going to survive. So for him, a year later, to be in this position after being hospitalized, after being prohibited from playing basketball until last January. I don't give a damn about him averaging less than 5 points. I don't care about his numbers or anything like that. You heard about his athleticism. You heard about his defensive prowess. You heard about the potential that he may have. We're not blind, however. We recognize the fact that if he were not LeBron James' son, in all likelihood, he would not have even been drafted. If he were not LeBron James' son, he damn sure would not have been drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers. If he were not LeBron James' son, he would not be in this position. So we can't be oblivious or turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to the fact that the opportunity that he received is an opportunity practically no one gets a chance at. There are his numbers: 4.8 points, 36.6% shooting, 2.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 19.4 minutes a game. Those are not numbers that get you drafted. So there was questions as to whether or not he deserved to be a McDonald's All-American compared to some other noteworthy individuals who felt that they were more deserving. There's questions about his career at USC because he didn't play there long enough and what he could have done against collegiate competition, let alone NBA competition. And now there are questions as to whether or not he'll ever make a Lakers roster, and certainly whether or not he deserves to. That scrutiny is valid. It's understandable. And he's got a lot to prove. I'm rooting for him. But the one thing I don't want to hear a damn thing about is nepotism.
Facts.
My friend, my partner, Adrian Wojnarowski on NBA Countdown spoke about it yesterday and saying he didn't want to hear it either because we both know, covering the NBA for years, executives, owners, coaches, nepotism has been going on in the National Basketball Association for ages.
Talk about it, bro. Talk about it. All the way up into the highest levels, into organizations, to the highest levels, coaches. Nobody said nothing about Giannis getting his trash brothers into the league. Nobody said nothing about Doc Rivers getting his son $40 million. They said nothing. Nada. Zilch. They gave him every chance in the world in order to continue to succeed. Nobody says anything about any of these NFL owners. I mean, good God. The owner of the Dallas Cowboys, his whole family is running the organization, and we don't know if they qualified to be general managers, if they qualified to be coaches, if they qualified to be the security guard. But they in there. They in there. Nobody has ever cared about a second-round draft pick in life. Nobody. I have never, ever in my life seen anybody, and this just tells you the type of hate that's within your own, from people in general. Just got the opportunity. People just got, look, LeBron is a first-generation millionaire and probably billionaire, and will probably be a billionaire. First generation, literally didn't even have a father that was participated in his life, is breaking every single barrier and generational curse and putting his sons, his wife, his daughter has never been caught up in any scandals whatsoever. Dude has been a model citizen in general. Trump and his children, absolutely 100%. 100%. I have never in my life seen people so upset at a person that is putting his... Listen, I don't care. And somebody is so funny because somebody typed something and they wrote a comment to me, and I want to show that. I screenshotted it, and they called me a hypocrite, right? And this is what they said. He said, Anton, he said, the hypocrisy is unreal. Let me clip that up. I'm going to go ahead and just show that on the screen. I want to show you how hypocritical people are, specifically black people. Black people are the most evil, negative, hating, not all black people, but a lot of black people, hating group of people I've ever seen in my entire life. This is what the dude wrote to me. I want to show you some of the comments I've been getting over the weekend. This is what he wrote. He said, the hypocrisy is real. Through watching 2/3 of this video, because I was speaking about this, I think I was talking about Cameron and his take on it. 2/3 of this video, I hear AD complaining about the nepotism that our people use to elect our own in the mayoral office instead of voting for the best candidate to carry out the job. Now, it's a difference between being in entertainment as basketball. I know y'all think that that's real life because ball is life. It's a much different conversation between somebody that's running the free world or running the mayor's office with taxpayer dollars and leveraging those dollars in order to be able to take trips over to Vegas and blowing the bag, and whether or not you're qualified to manage multi-billion-dollar budgets and you just getting elected based off of identity politics versus somebody going into entertainment and hooping. Did this dude genuinely try to hold me accountable for comparing a public servant that is using taxpayer dollars that we have no choice of whether or not we're going to pay to an NBA player, making sure that none of us have to watch if we don't have to watch, but we all intrigued as a result of it, and using that to compare and saying that I'm being a hypocrite because somebody put somebody in a position of power in order to be able. Listen, I'm telling you, these people are insane. Absolutely. When I seen that this morning, I said, you know what? I'm going to have to screenshot it, and we're going to have to make this the conversation of the day. Are y'all sitting here and telling me that y'all comparing identity politics when it comes to being a public servant with tax dollars to a person that is leveraging his celebrity and continuing to generate countless billions of dollars, has been the face of the NBA for his entirety of his career? They've sold countless jerseys on his behalf in order to make sure that he get his son as a second-round draft pick to play with him in order to be able to run up the bag. Are you telling me that that's the conversation that we having? Seriously? How many of y'all, I want the hypocrites to come out to the front of the congregation. How many of y'all would pass up the opportunity to get your son a bag in entertainment? We're not talking about politics, mayors, governors, and none of that. How many of y'all would pass up the opportunity to eat? Forget entertainment. Let's just talk about regular jobs. I know so many people that, and this was all the way back into the plant life. You know who the people that was getting all of the jobs? The people whose sons and daughters and all of that was, and family members. Those was the people that was getting the jobs in the plant. Ford, Chrysler, and GM in order to get them $100,000 a year jobs way back in the 80s and the 90s. I remember when I was a little kid, way back in the 80s and 90s, you could not just go out and apply for a job to get into Ford, Chrysler, and GM and run up a bag over in Detroit. Everybody's sons, everybody's nephews, and all of that. And I wasn't even tripping because people was trying to leverage that in order to get, they wasn't just leveraging that to get that. They was getting, we called them A-plan papers. A-plan papers here in Detroit was employee pricing for you to be able to get a significant discount in order to buy a car because your father or your cousin or your brother or your mama was an employee at the plant. I've seen people do online interviews, take tests for their people. I see people, and I say this all the time, especially when it comes to getting promoted in corporate America, that you got to be a cultural fit, that leveraging and putting people in a position. I don't know how many people got mad at me and said, Anton, how many black people have you hired into your organization? Selective outrage is real. It's real. Selective outrage is real. People hate when you become too successful and they don't feel like they can relate to you when they can't touch you. And so as a result, they started to get mad. Man, listen, you think I care about the fact that Bronny James is going to be got drafted at 55 in the second round and is probably going to be making $1 million a year because his dad, who also brought a championship over to the Lakers and is also keeping all of the seats full, is advocating for it? If you don't think that I'm going to give my daughter every single, now my ability to be able to get her prepared is a completely different conversation. But if you don't think that I'm going to give my daughter every single leg up, when I choose to do business with the bag chasers, I don't go outside of what it is that we do. And I don't even care if they give me a somewhat substandard product. When I invest in businesses, when we do it every single year, and I say, hey, pitch me a business. I want to be able to invest in your business. I don't even want no equity in it. I don't see y'all claiming nepotism then. Because there be people on the outside saying, why you don't open it up to everybody? Because you ain't a bag chaser. I have a preference. I have a soft spot in my heart for the people that I love. And I do business with people because I love them, not even because they necessarily had the best product. And if you don't think for 1 second that I'm setting my family up and my daughter up for success over your son and your daughter, you out of your mind. You're out of your mind. The entire premise by which y'all think that y'all supposed to do business, we should only shop black-owned business. So you're not buying food and you're not doing business with somebody just because they got the best product. You're doing it just because they black. Is that a form of nepotism? And so he not supposed to do it for his own sons? And he didn't even have a father? And we got it running rampant all throughout the league in every single office? People are getting jobs that don't even deserve it, and y'all sitting here telling me that this man shouldn't be leveraging his position in the organization in order to get his son drafted? And I think listen, I want both of his sons to get drafted. I hope they run up a bag. I hope they run up a bag. I'm just amazed at the level of hate. I'm amazed at the level of hate that people have for this dude that has never done anything to him and is getting mad because he decided to make sure that his sons was good and he gave his son. What about the people that deserve? Okay, name them. Name them. Name one. Name who was going to be drafted. Name the person that was supposed to be drafted at 55th that Bronny took his spot. Who is he? Where he at though? What's his name? What's his name? Name him. Who was the person whose spot he took? I have never in my life, not one time, and I've been an NBA fan for my entire life, I've never in my life seen people complain about a second-round draft pick. People don't even watch the second round. The only reason they was watching the second round is because Bronny was in there, and they was waiting to see whether or not some other team drafted him instead of the Lakers. The ratings fall off on the second round. The only thing that people care about is the first round. Y'all have never, as a matter of fact, Bronny probably already saved Skip Bayless's job over on Undisputed because now Skip Bayless got another 4 years to be able to talk about Bronny and LeBron, which he never would have. I've never seen anybody complain about a second round draft pick, not one time in my entire life. And y'all just feeling some type of way. Y'all seriously mad. Y'all want this dude to fail so bad. Jesus Christ, bro.
Nobody said anything about it before. We damn sure don't want to hear about it now. And I piggybacked off of my teammate yesterday by elaborating on that extensively this morning on First Take. Take a look to what I have to say because I only want to say it once. Here you go. We live in a country where nepotism has taken place with white folks religiously forever. We've said little to nothing about it. In the NBA specifically, in a league where at least 70% of the players are black, we've seen nepotism with white folks all over the place. Ownership,
facts,
executive ranks,
facts,
player personnel,
100%.
Scouting, coaching.
Yep.
The list goes on and on. We've said little to nothing about it. And now this happens with LeBron James, a member of the Mount Rushmore of basketball. And all of a sudden, you've got people running their mouths. LeBron James is approaching 40 years of age. He ain't somebody that faded into the twilight. He's still an all-world player. LeBron James, if LeBron James was on the New York Knicks now, you trying to tell me the New York Knicks wouldn't be one of the favorites to win the chip? Right now, approaching age 40. So to be in Los Angeles, to still be box office, to still be the magnifying talent that he is, yes, he has manipulated the proceedings somewhat. We get that. Bronny James would not be on an NBA roster if it were not for LeBron James. He would not have gotten drafted in all likelihood yesterday if it were not for LeBron James. We all know this. We accept it. The issue is the resentment that's emanating from people out there. How dare you resent LeBron James. And if you're LeBron James, be mindful. See, now you're going to hear people book it. Book it. This is my expertise, media. I'm telling you what I know. Book this. In the days and the weeks to come, we going to bring up how he took his talents to South Beach.
Yep.
We going to bring up how he went back to Cleveland.
Yep.
We're going to bring up how he once held free agency hostage. You're going to hear all of these things along the way because it's a resentment of power. You see, people, regardless of the great businessman he has proven to be, you understand, the great talent he has proven to be, the great influencer he has proven to be on a multitude of levels. I'm not saying everybody, because business is business. You got white folks out there that's all about business. They want to make money. They don't give a damn what color you are or what have you. Black, white, and in between. But the vast majority of people that are going to speak, what they're saying without saying it is that they just want you to be an athlete. They don't want you to have the cachet to be.
So I'm going to be honest with y'all. Some of y'all don't even qualify for the jobs that y'all got. Let's be real. For some reason, y'all forgot about the leg up. Remember when you had somebody get you into the job that you got? Remember when you was looking for a referral? I don't want nobody else to ask for referrals. I don't want nobody else to ask for a referral. Nobody. Zero. Half of y'all just mad because you ain't even have a father to give you a leg up in the first place. So you feeling some type of way. And so that old trauma is starting to emanate. It's starting to show itself because you angry. You angry at your lot in life. Mama should have been held accountable for the fact that daddy paid $40 in order to get one off. Condom broke. Or maybe she didn't even have him wear a condom. And so now you mad. You mad or no? You mad or no? It be people mad at me because they think that my dad left me some money. I wish my dad had left me some money. I would really be running it up with the insight that I had. If I didn't have to get it out the mud as far as financially, my dad gave me everything I needed in order to be successful. As a matter of fact, one of the first jobs that I ever got, my dad got it for me. 1,000%. I have never seen a group of people that is so angry, and it don't even come from white people. It come from black people. I've never seen a group of people that's so angry that somebody is successful as a result of the fact that you had a father. Half of y'all just mad because your dad wasn't there. And I get it. All we seen was women at parent-teacher conferences, not my father. My father was there. My father participated. He was out there with me. You know what I'm saying? He showed me how to lay concrete. He showed me how to do electrical work. He showed me how to put up drywall. And so people mad about that. People are mad. They mad because they daddy didn't do the same thing that LeBron's dad is doing. And so listen, don't get mad at them. Check your daddy. Check your mama for who it is that she let skeet in her. It ain't his fault. It ain't his fault. I don't want nobody else to ask for a referral, ever. Don't email me and say, Anton, you know what I'm saying? Can we link up? Don't do none of that. Nothing. Don't ask me for nothing for free. I'm charging for everything from now on. Real talk. All of the people complaining, trying to get a leg up, talking about nepotism, trying to network their way into the organizations. Don't do it. Just stand on your own merit. I want you to be the first example to go through the door and set the example. Fi Brown says, Anton, you're conflating the issue that's not profound. People just saying that he wasn't ready. Who are y'all to determine who ready? Listen, this is a business at the end of the day. Listen, while y'all being marketed the idea that it's sports and that people should be looking at it from a sports perspective, man, this is a business at the end of the day. And the goal is to win financially, especially as it relates to your children. Above all, is to make sure that your kids is taken care of. For whatever reason, I don't think that the Lakers is going to be suffering as a result of it. I have never in my life seen a group of people get mad at a 55th pick in the NBA draft. Y'all didn't have the same type of smoke for Thanasis. Y'all didn't have the same type of smoke for Jerry Jones. Y'all didn't have the same type of smoke for nobody, for Doc Rivers. But it's a thing for Bronny James? Get out of here, bro. Man, I seen Umar Johnson hating on Bronny James. I said I thought that he was supposed to be the blackity black fraudness dude on the internet. And y'all sitting here whining about it, complaining about it, feeling some type of way. Man, don't nobody care about no NBA scouts. You think that they concerned themselves with NBA scouts when Thanasis was out there dribbling the ball off his kneecaps? When Thanasis was dribbling the ball off his kneecaps and doing like this on the bench, I seen him. I seen him Milwaukee come to Detroit, and I seen Thanasis over there. I was like, man, Thanasis is so extra. But I can't hate. Everybody was congratulating Giannis. Oh, Giannis, man, he made sure his whole family got the bag. That's why it's so hypocritical, is because people celebrated Giannis for making sure that his family was successful, and they hate on LeBron. Nobody had any smoke for Giannis for making sure his brothers was taken care of. They said, oh, and Giannis ain't even from here. Giannis ain't even from here. They celebrated Giannis for the same thing that they throwing Bron under the bus for. But Giannis ain't no billionaire yet. Y'all slimy. 100% slimy. That's why I don't trust you. That's why I don't trust y'all. If Young Metro don't trust you, I'm going to shoot you.
Able to manipulate the proceedings, to be able to do something like, you know what, I want this person on this roster. I want this coach. What have we gotten mad about with LeBron and coaches? It wasn't the fact that coaches are changing. It's like, yo, LeBron, own it. If that's what you want, you don't want Darvin Ham, you don't want him. You want J.J. Redick, that's what you want. You want this coach, this coach. You are you. They sit up here now. My name is in the news all the time. We know why. They look at me at First Take on their talent. Do I not have a production company? Do I not produce content? Do I not have other stuff going on, Jay Williams, Big Perk? But you talk about as a talent, because America, not everybody, not most, but a lot of people are about stay in your place, stay in your lane. And LeBron James has religiously been about the business of defining his own lane and showing that I don't have a lane, I got avenues. And I'm coming this way. And you ain't gonna do anything about it because I represent what I represent, how it's.
Listen, at the end of the day, if you don't think at some point that one of the reasons why I'm going to be staying in corporate America as long as I am, if my daughter decides that she ever wanted to go in corporate America, if you don't think that I'm going to leverage my position and my privilege and the position that I hold in corporate America in order to make sure that she get what she want, you out of your mind. You 100% out of your mind. And man, listen, my nephews, soon as they graduated from college, I guided them, hey, this is what you're going to do. As soon as you get out of college, I got a job waiting for you. For somebody else's bag in corporate America, I got a position waiting for you. Anton, somebody else has heard that position. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to my nephew. Shout out to my cousins. Shout out to everybody. Listen, as soon as we got that bag, when I made a bunch of money, when my brother was making a bunch of money, because my brother the one that had got me into the plant in order to make that $100,000+ a year when I was like 18 years old in the first place. As soon as he showed me that paycheck, I was like, hey, can you get me in? He got me in. I got my wife in. All of that. We was getting everybody in. Everybody get a bag. My cousin's husband, she had married him. I said, hey, fam, you need a bag in order to take care of your family. Let me go ahead and get you in this plant. He ran it up. We ran it up. Everybody was running it up. Everybody get a bag. If you don't think that I'm going to make sure that my people is taken care of, you out of your mind. Everybody, if I can get you in, I'm going to do everything in my power in order to be able to do so. As long as it don't hurt me in the end, you the one that's going to get this bag. Man, you can miss me with that nepotism conversation. You's a fool. And you're a hypocrite because you don't even believe in that junk. You believe in it selectively when it ain't you. But if you had the opportunity to do it for your own kids, I see y'all raggedy ass kids. Kids be drooling at the mouth. I'd be like, hey fam, is he qualified to be able to work on my property? Oh man, he good. I'm gonna oversee it. Kid be like, I see y'all raggedy kids when y'all bring them. I see y'all kids in the back seat when y'all be door dashing with them. Hey, man, you might need to get him a helmet. Oh, no, we good. We got him. Okay. All right. Listen, long as you say you got it, that's all that matters. Your kid is dumb. Your kid didn't even graduate. And you trying to give him a leg up, knowing he can't do the job, knowing he don't even qualify for the woman that you think that he deserves. No, my kid is a good kid. Your kid be like, hey, like, I don't even know if he want a wife. He might want a husband. No, he gonna want a wife. Okay, you just want the best for him, though, right? Hey, like, damn, that kid is retarded. Never mind. Let me be quiet. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to continue? Nepotism exists in everything. Nepotism exists in every single aspect of life, and we always gonna be biased towards the people. Let me read some of these super chats, and we're going to continue on with the show. Let me read some of these super chats, because y'all be hypocritical, knowing your son is slow. Slow as hell. Slow. Room 9 slow. Short bus. Never left the same classroom, went to the same classroom for all 4 years, all 5 years of high school. Your son was in the same classroom, right next to the bathroom, and still didn't make it to the bathroom some days. Son out there looking like Joe Biden, and he only 18 years old. Strong as hell. You know how that them slow kids, they had that strong strength, and they, whatever God didn't give them up here, he gave them up here. Strong strength ass kids. Keep on promoting them to positions that they ain't supposed to be in and thinking that we not supposed to be promoting our kids. Get out of here, bro. I'm just saying, your kid's strong as hell, and it ain't because he's smart. It ain't because he went to the gym. He just got that strong kid strength. Let me get off. I got a whole show to do. I ain't got time to be sitting here talking about this the whole time. Your son's supposed to be in the league though, right? No, he could play football. No, he don't. He don't deserve to be on the roster. He can't even read the plays. Anyways, let me read some of these super chats. Forsaken Archive says, Dwayne Wade's son Zaya is going to play in the... Oh, that was a good one. Now that was a good one. I got to give you a round of applause for that one. That's a fact, though. I don't want to see Zaya out there, then y'all gonna be feeling some type of way. Rosita Tila says, Senora Anton, prayers, please. But for all those on the path of Hurricane Barry, yeah, hey, prayers up for y'all. Be safe. God bless y'all. Greg Charlie says, ask them a better question. Most people can't even tell you who the number 1 pick was. Facts. But we'll trip about the 55th pick. With greatness comes hateness. I agree with that 100%. Azrael, first of his name, says, Klay Thompson dad didn't try to influence him to Lakers. Dell Curry didn't rush Steph to the NBA. Please stop the BS of having daddy issues. Not even Prime is doing this with Shador. LeBron. What do you mean? They getting NIL money. Everywhere that Prime go, his sons go. LeBron is doing this for him. Good. He should do it for him, and I think that he should run it up. Thank you for the super chat. Eric Harris says, when is the best time to join the Bag Chasers? The first of the month. Get it. Joining for nepotism, and I love it. Austin Rivers is a blue chipper from Duke. Was on the same level as Bronny, right? Get the hell out of here. LeBron is just doing this for legacy. He don't give a F about he don't care about his kid? Did you really just say LeBron don't care about his kids? It's showing. Mr. Tamarez says, good morning. I'm confused. Life isn't supposed to be fair. From a business perspective, this is excellent marketing for the league and the Lakers. Facts. And every seat is going to be sold out, as it should be. High Tolerance says some of the ones who caught the lie from the family members eventually fumbled the bag, get fired for dirty drops on their 90 days. Shout out to P. Shank in the building says, good morning, Mr. Anton and the Millionaire Morning Show. Shout out to all of my people in the building. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications, and make sure y'all get y'all nepotism on. Make sure you get your nepotism on. All right? Let's run it up. All right, what we got going on next? Street takeovers in LA and in Florida instituted a new law. I don't want to spend any more than 10 minutes on this. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Street takeover in downtown LA turns into an inferno after things get out of hand.
KCAL News reporter Lauren Posen is in downtown LA, where last night cars were even lit on fire.
You don't have to go far to see the damage from this takeover. Right behind me right away, the first thing you notice is just the tire marks from the cars doing donuts on the intersection here. And then at another part of it, you can see the asphalt just charred, and look at all that glass. This wild video looks like a scene out of a movie, but it's not. It's a street takeover that turned into an inferno in downtown Los Angeles.
Hey, imagine you come outside. You had a Dodge Challenger, Hellcat, Charger, Hellcat. Somebody stole your car because they wanted to go to the street takeover over in LA, right? And then right after that, you look up on the news, you realize that the police is sitting right there on the left-hand side because they can't do nothing about it. The fire truck is nowhere to be seen. They right outside of the Boss Lady Players Club right there, as y'all can see right there. Y'all see the Boss Lady Players Club? The street is turned black, not because it's asphalt, that's actually concrete, but they did so many burnouts to where it seemed like that part of the street is paved black. And you come outside or you turn on the news and you realize that, damn, that's my Hellcat out there on fire. And I might have let my insurance lapse. Let me go ahead and check my insurance to make sure that it didn't lapse.
LAPD says it happened at the intersection of 18th and Main just before 3 Saturday morning.
That's more than one car
Over
out there,
50
too.
cars converged near the freeway underpass, and police say at least 2 were intentionally set on fire. Explosions heard as the cars burned to the ground. Traffic backed up around the corner with drivers trying to dodge the flames. Councilmember Kevin DeLeon says this happening in his district is unacceptable.
So it angers me because it puts other people in danger.
Just a few weeks ago, at another downtown takeover, gunshots were fired. Police found shell casings but made no arrests. There is a task force made up of LA County Sheriff's deputies, California Highway Patrol, and Los Angeles Police Department officers dedicated to finding and stopping takeovers. DeLeon says on July 1st, more funds will be allocated to that force.
We actually have reduced the number of street takeovers in LA, but in particular in downtown.
Cap. Because they're not just going to LA, they're going to all of the surrounding cities and all of the surrounding counties in order to do their burnouts. And ain't nobody stopping them.
In Los Angeles, but nonetheless, it has not completely, come to a halt.
But Damian Kevitt with Streets Are For Everyone thinks another approach could work.
More holistically, not necessarily just from a enforcement perspective, which is a tool, but also how do we provide areas where this can be done legally? How do we...
You know what the problem with people are? Is that they try to justify it by allowing for it and then legalizing it. It's the same thing that happened with marijuana. It's the same thing that happened with certain drugs. It's the same thing that happens with cigarettes. Instead of us calling it and saying, hey, man, it's just bad for society, we try to figure out how we can make money from it. We try to give over to the evilness. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. When you start to allow for people to be able to take an inch, they're going to take a mile. You know what? In order for us to get them off the street, we got to figure out how to allow for them to do it legally. It is a way for them to do it legally already. You can go out there to the track. You can go out there and run your car, and you can get a ticket, and you can pay for it, and you can actually run your car and do a quarter mile. Do a quarter mile run, and you can take your car to the car meet. You can do everything. What are you talking about how to do it legally? So you want to create an entirely different environment for them to be able to do burnouts and tear up. It's tracks in every single state. Every single state, there are tracks. But guess what? You just can't take stolen cars there. That's the problem. You can't take stolen cars there. That's the problem. You can't take them out there and do burnouts. See, those are the cars that's on fire. Go to the track. Go to the track. It's tracks in every single state. What are you talking about? And this is why you don't need some of these people in order to be able to have these conversations at all.
Do educate.
You get hard on crime. You make examples out of people, and that's how you stop people from doing stuff they ain't supposed to do.
Police say when they got to the scene of this most recent takeover, the crowd scattered. No arrests were made, and despite the massive fire, no one got hurt.
Right. Listen, if you want to go race, you want to be a speed racer, go to a racetrack and go as fast as you want. Go race, your heart out. I know they're not going to listen to that, but listen, that's why we're going to beef up, with resources, at least in downtown LA, to make sure we can put a huge dent.
Nobody ever gets arrested.
Earlier this year.
Have y'all noticed that nobody ever gets arrested? The only person that's on the hook is taxpayers and insurance companies. They tear up the streets and then y'all say, oh man, there's potholes out there. No. But Florida, they say, is getting a little bit tougher. Let's see what Florida got going on.
Well, you've probably seen it on social media. Crazy videos of cars taking over the streets, some even drag racing. The so-called street takeovers in South Florida have only created more havoc on our roads. And now a new state law hopes to deter people from taking part.
NBC6 reporter Amanda Placencia looks into what's being done to put the brakes on this danger to keep you safe.
With these new state laws, people planning to get behind the wheel of a car during those illegal street takeovers could lose their car and the right to drive.
That's how it happens in Michigan.
Drifting. And
if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, or if you get caught drag racing on the street, if you get caught street racing and you ain't at the track, they taking your whole car. That's exactly how they do it here. Oh, trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. If you are out here and you are not legal and you out here doing what you're doing and you throwing your car on the track and stuff like that, they will take your car, they will impound it, they will levy incredible fees, they will throw reckless driving, drag racing. They will give you 12 points on your license, 6 for reckless, 6 for drag racing. They will impound your car, and they will 100% own your car. They will take your car, 100%.
Donuts can lead to chaos. New state laws are cracking down on illegal street takeovers. If someone is caught participating in these dangerous stunts, they will soon face tougher penalties. Even though local officers in Miami-Dade and City of Miami have had a dedicated task force to catch these reckless drivers, there is only so much they could do with enforcement.
Just recently, we've seen all these street takeovers. We were limited to tools. We were limited on what we could do.
These new laws will be more aggressive.
So before it was a misdemeanor, we probably had to charge them with reckless driving or something to that effect. They wouldn't lose their vehicles. Now with these harder penalties, it becomes a felony, and they have to pay a fine of up to $4,000. Plus, they're going to lose their driver's license for 2 to 4 years.
These crimes can be dangerous and end in shootings or worse. Recently in April, a bicyclist was killed in Pompano Beach after a driver was fleeing from deputies after a street takeover. Now, with the new laws, if you are caught coordinating or participating in a street takeover, a first violation would still be a first-degree misdemeanor like before.
Then y'all gonna be sitting there saying that, oh man, the system is set up against me because I can't get my license and I can't get to work or I can't get a job because of something that I did in my past. And then you're gonna be sitting there and blaming it on the white man and blaming it on the system because you can't get a license to go to work, or when you 30 and the shit that you was doing when you was 22 ain't gonna fly no more. When you gotta be held accountable for the rest of your life and you sitting there filling out that job application, or you going online and it says, did you ever get convicted of a misdemeanor or a felony? And then you decide that you want to be honest and say yes. Then you're going to come on my show on After Hours and say, man, it's because when I'm honest, I can't get a job. No, it's because you got to be held accountable for the things you did when you was an adult. And you wanted to be out there. It'd be white people too, them Latinos, white people, Mexicans, all of that. Yeah. Watch too much Fast and Furious. You're not Dominic Toretto. You're not Tyrese. You're not Han. Yeah. Got your phone out. Okay, take this felony. $4,000. Your parent, you still living in your parents' basement. and you get a misdemeanor for the first time. Second time, you didn't learn your lesson because you didn't go to jail. So now you got to get a 3rd-degree felony, and now your license is gone, and you can't get a job. You can't get in college. You can't get the position that you want. And now you got to go out there and you got to deliver my goddamn packages every day. And so now you want to feel some church. No, we're going to have some church this morning. We're going to have some church this morning. Now you got to deliver my packages, and you think the system is set up against you. Stop doing stuff you're not supposed to do.
But would carry an increased fine up to $2,000. A second violation would be punishable as a 3rd-degree felony and a fine up to $4,000. Your driver's license could also be revoked for 4 years if you're a repeat offender. With the old law, spectators would receive a non-criminal traffic infraction. Now spectators will get a ticket and an added fine of $400. And there's more. Police could seize your car for forfeiture when it's a felony offense, or it could be impounded for 30 days in a misdemeanor offense.
Now, the real thing that really hits home with young people, I can tell you,
I use
it as a leverage with my kids. They can take the car away, and they can seize cars now, regardless of whether or not the owner's driving it.
Florida Senator Jason Pizzo sponsored the bill to take further action on the illegal meetups after he got stuck behind one of those takeovers, blocking first responders. He hopes the added measures will help.
It's bad. It's numbering into several thousands in citations previously, but the word really wasn't sort of resonating, and I don't think people felt the pressure of law enforcement enough because we weren't giving them the tools legislatively. Now they have them.
My daughter asked me, and she said, Dad, can I get a Hellcat? I said, absolutely not. No way, Jose. You absolutely, positively can't get a Hellcat. She said, why? I said, because you ain't mature enough, A, and B, I'm not going to make you a target out here in these streets. You can get a Bronco. And you can take the doors off, and you can hang out with your gnarly friends out in the suburbs. Absolutely, positively not. Part of the reason that this is so bad out here in these streets is because we've never had parents that have been honest with their kids and tell them that you are room 9. You are a helmet wearer. You are not mature enough to be able to even drive a car. Y'all so quick to try to give them their license. Y'all so quick to try to push them out in these streets. Y'all so quick to give them freedom. You don't deserve no freedom. You ain't earned it. You ain't earned it. You are a room 9 child. A room 9 child. That's why you keep being out here on these takeovers and you keep stealing cars. You keep stealing cars. Oh, can I get a Hellcat? Nope. You can get some Dairy Queen, though. You can get some Dairy Queen. It sits up nice and high. I ain't got to worry about no accident. It has a 5-star crash rating. It's a nice vehicle. You can sit out there and look good with your friends. 100%. 100%. Hellcat? No. Bronco? That's more your speed. I got you. I had a conversation with her on Sunday. I said, listen. I said, what school are you going to? Don't worry about it. She said, oh, she's like, I was thinking about Mary. Mary is her cousin. Mary, she's over in Florida, and I was wondering if I can go to. Nope. Pick a Michigan school, preferably close to home because you're not staying on campus. Daddy is building a whole compound. Don't worry about it. You can stay right on. I'll build you a separate house on the exact same land, and then I'm gonna build the bridge from the big house to the guest house. And Daddy gonna make sure that you stay right here. You're gonna be nice and comfortable in this big old prison of a compound that we got, and you're gonna be well taken care of. She just starts smiling. Yeah, I know my daughter is spoiled. It's called nepotism. Daughter spoiled, but guess what? She's going to be spoiled with me. And while your kids is out there stealing hubcaps, my kid is going to be sitting right here up under me. Anyways, neither here nor there. Let me read a couple of these super chats and then we're going to continue over with the show. Shout out to Hardhead says, just sliding through, big dog. Shout out to you, big dog. I appreciate you. J. Ben says, if Trex quit closing, folks can go more. Nah, come on. Come on. They stealing cars. They can't take no stolen car to the track, J. Ben. You know that. You know that. You know that. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's move over with the show. We got to continue. We got a whole show that we got to capture today. This broke my heart because I don't understand it. And so I thought that I would share this with you guys before we get over into the other aspects of the show. This kind of broke my heart. And so I want to get y'all thoughts on this. I don't want to spend any more than 10 minutes on this one. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Check it out, man.
CBS 4 News at 5 begins with breaking news in the search for a missing 14-year-old boy from Logansport. That teen is the son of a former Colt. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bob Donaldson.
And I'm Chelsea Helms. Indiana State Police confirms it has made contact with the boy's parents, but the teen's still missing after 11 days.
CBS 4's Eric Graves got that call from State Police with the new information. He joins us in the studio with the breaking details. Eric.
Yeah, Bob and Chelsea. Bryson Muir was last seen leaving his grandmother's house more than a week ago. This is what he looks like right here. He's the son of Daniel and Kristen Muir. Daniel is a former Indianapolis Colt and a person police have been trying to talk to for days now. For the first time since state police got involved, they made contact with the Muir parents, but police say they still don't know where Bryson is. Bryson's believed to be endangered. He left his grandmother's house near Cleveland with his mother in a white 2015 Chevy Suburban on June 16th. But that vehicle was pulled over minutes later and Bryson wasn't in it. At that time, Bryson had this black eye that you're seeing on your screen. His grandmother had called police because she was worried he was being beaten. Now,
let me back this up for a second. I want to make sure that we get in the whole view of this. So, former Indianapolis Colt, former football player, son is missing. I'm trying to put this all in perspective, and I'm trying to make sure that I understand it correctly. If anybody knows this story, is anybody familiar with this, y'all bring me up to speed because I'm not aware. I got a couple different videos that I want to go over in order to try to capture the whole thing. But the son is missing. The grandmother seen him with a black eye. It looked like he had two black eyes. It looked like he was getting punched in the face, which is absolutely silly. It's 100% silly for a child to have black eyes from their parents, and it looked like he got busted lips. So somebody was beating on this kid. Grandmother said, listen, I'm concerned that this kid is getting abused in his household. The parents, both the mother and the father, the kid go missing. Nobody knows where the kid at. The parents ain't talking. None of this is adding up whatsoever. Zero, zilch, nada. None of it is adding up whatsoever. I don't think that some people should be able to have kids. I know that y'all think that it's an American right. I think we need to change the laws, and I think we need to qualify people to be able to have children. The only reason that we don't do so, in my opinion personally, is because we need a slave culture. We need to make sure that we got enough workers to do some of the jobs that we don't want to do, which is one of the many reasons why we let our borders open in order to make sure that we got a whole bunch of new working class members. I call it slave culture. And the parents don't even believe in working with the police and trying to locate the kid or making sure that the kid is found. So it's either one or two things, in my opinion. Either the kid is completely gone, God forbid, or they trying to wait till the kid heals before they start to reveal exactly where it is because they don't want to get in trouble as a result of it. It's got to be only one or two things. Either they trying to wait for the kid to fully heal, or the kid is completely missing and they're not cooperating with the police.
Now, I'm told state police and the Cass County DCS finally got a hold of Bryson's parents this morning and went onto the large property where they live in rural Logansport. You're seeing this video we took yesterday when we visited the property. Now, it's owned by a group called Servant Leaders Foundation. It's a nonprofit religious group based out of Kokomo. State police tell us the Muirs are beginning to cooperate with the investigation, but Bryson is still considered missing. If you know anything about where he is, you're asked to call police. We do have much more information on this story on our website right now.
Let me go over to this other news article because, I think that this is important that we bring visibility to some of these domestic issues that's in our communities.
From Indiana's #1 news source, this is Fox 59 First Step.
Somebody said not to make excuses, but could CTE have anything to do with this type of horrific behavior? We don't know. That's the key, is that people are concerned about the kid, including the grandma, but we have no clue. We don't know nothing about the daddy. We don't know nothing about the kid. We don't know nothing. you can't even really speculate about what could be the issue because nobody even knows if the kid is around. I think that the kid is alive. I think they're just hiding the kid. Because nobody in their right mind would not cooperate with trying to make sure that they located the kid. No parent. I can't think of one parent personally. I'm sure that there's some horrific parents out there, but no parent, zero parents would not cooperate with the police if your kid is missing. So they know where the kid, they got to know where the kid is.
And we begin with breaking news.
I agree. It got to be some Hebrew Israelites, probably some Hebrew Israelites. I ran into some Hebrew Israelites over the weekend. I was sitting there. I was driving in my my Mercedes. No, actually, I was in a Porsche, the 911. And so I'm sitting there and I'm having a good time and I'm playing some, what was I playing? I think I was playing some Sade. I was cruising and I had the top up and I was playing some Sade. And then the Sade wasn't loud. It was just probably just loud enough for them to be able to hear it. And they was on a corner and they was over there bothering people, bothering people on the corner. And he said, "What are you?" I said, "Excuse me?" I turned the music down. I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "What are you?" I said, "Rich?" And then this is what he said to me. On everything. On everything, on my life. He said, he ain't gonna make it. He said, he ain't gonna make it. I just started cracking up. Listen. I'm not gonna make it to heaven because I got money. Man, I'm not negotiating with crazy room 9 people. I think that every last one of them dudes that be standing on the corner with their fringes on, with their lampshade fringes on, I think every last one of them people are room 9. All of them. He had beady beads in his hair. Looked like he ain't even brushed his teeth that morning, but he was on the corner bothering people, using a white man's manufactured camera in order to continue to bother people on the side of the street. He said, he ain't gonna make it. I just went ahead and turned up my Sade. If you were mine. That's what I was playing. If you were mine.
First at 4 on the search for 14-year-old Bryson Muir of Logansport. A statewide silver alert has now been issued 12 days after he was last seen in Ohio. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Jenny Drasler.
And I'm Eric Graves. Nick and Aaliyah have the day off. I talked to police just more than an hour ago. They tell me Bryson's parents had agreed to bring him to the ISP post in Peru.
We got one in the chat. Hold on, y'all. We got one in the chat. The inside squared circle. Did you use the white man's computer to make your logo? How much you want to bet they stole this logo from Google somewhere? The inside the squared circle of the king of Judah. And they type it in all caps. And he spelled though THO instead of THOUGH. I told you these people are room 9 associates. They are room 9 all day long, man. Listen, arithmetic, math, reading, all of it. And then we pass them just along with everybody else with the No Child Left Behind laws and let these people over in society and start letting them procreate without tagging them. Why are we not tagging these people? You know how honestly, do you know how they tag the animals and the mountain lions in order to be able to track them and know where they at, and the bears and stuff like that? Why are we not tagging these room 9 associates that call themselves Hebrew Israelites so we can know where they're associating? We make sure that we capture everybody that is on a sex offenders list. Everybody that's on a sex offenders list, we know where they at. Y'all just sitting here letting these people operate in society without no kind of coverage, without knowing where they at. They walking around with their fringes. No graduations, no degrees, no jobs, no nothing. No nothing. Just walking around, having sex, procreating, and talking about they preaching the word of God. And so because you poor, you supposed to make it into heaven. Why are we not tagging these people? Why are we not putting no collar around them? Put a geo fence around them and make sure that they can't go out of certain areas. Tag them. When you see a Hebrew Israelite, tag them. Put an air tag on them. Don't do that for real. Don't put an air tag on them. God, bro. Tag these people so that we can know where they at, so we can see where they strong strength coming from.
At noon today, but backed out just an hour before that.
Yeah, it's the case we've been following from the beginning. A lot to unpack, and we go to Fox 59's Michael Van Scoik joining us now in studio with the latest breaking details from State Police. Michael.
Well, Jenny and Eric, State Police say that decision not to bring the son to the post this afternoon is a signal the Mears are unwilling to cooperate. Now, investigators have issued a silver alert and say Bryson is believed to be in extreme danger and may require medical assistance. Bryson was last seen on June 16th at his grandmother's house near Cleveland, Ohio. At the time, he had this.
That's bad. I don't want to see no kid looking like that, bro.
Black eye. She's the one who called police because she was worried he was being beaten. Bryson's father is a former Indianapolis Colt. Daniel Muir is a person of interest in the investigation. State Police and the Cass County DCS got a hold of Bryson's parents yesterday, 11 days after the investigation started. Investigators also got onto the large property where they live. This video is from when we were there earlier this week. The property is owned by a group called Servant Leaders Foundation. It's a nonprofit religious group based out of Kokomo. Now, ISP says investigators spoke directly with Bryson's parents yesterday. However, the agreement to meet with detectives at the Peru post was made through a family attorney. The attorney told ISP Bryson's parents would no longer meet today. Now, State Police meet the criteria for that silver alert, which investigators say will help get the word out on a much larger scale.
It goes out statewide, of course. It goes through the, mass media, social media, other law enforcement agencies. So it's just another way to exponentially get this information out. And
listen, I just think that in a lot of these instances, these kids are being done dirty, and we creating monsters in society. And I don't think that the kid is really missing. I just think that they're hiding them, to be honest with you all. So just wanted to make sure that y'all was aware of what was going on. Shout out to all of my Room 9 Hebrew Israelites out here in these streets. Y'all do the same thing to y'all kids. I seen y'all begging for food. Shout out to the Hebrew Israelites. I love them dudes. They good. They good for bothering people on the street that's actually being productive in society with their fringes. Delta Fox. Hey, listen, let me say this also before I read some of these super chats. Have y'all noticed that these are the most powerless group of people that I've ever met in my entire life? I can openly talk about Hebrew Israelites and nothing is gonna happen. Nothing. They don't have 2 nickels to rub together. They don't have 2 nickels. They can't even get their own households in order. Have you seen how yellow their wives and their girlfriends' teeth is? They don't even, unemployment, they be on government services, food stamps or whatever. What you gonna mobilize? Y'all gonna mobilize? What y'all gonna do? What you gonna do? Gonna type hard in the chat? This is them. You know what? You're making me mad. Get on there, get outside with y'all xylophones. Oh, we don't like you. Oh, and then they start making all of their Room 9 noises. Boy, if you don't get your big head up out of here. They so powerless. They so silly and powerless. Just a straight up clown show. Delta Fox says, my neighbor in my townhome complex had a noisy pink and black Hellcat. I saw an eviction notice on her door a few weeks back. She could pay that car, but could not pay the rent on time. Straight up. Shout out to you, Delta Fox. I appreciate you. P. Rothstein says, I heard about this story. I don't know too much, but in the city that the car left is from the city I was born in. I was born and raised and currently live in. Shout out to you, P. Rothstein. I appreciate you. Melanin God Gaming says, when we use to street race when I was younger, we tied to get as much, come on, y'all gonna have to start putting some periods in these sentences, some commas, as much racing done before cops showed up as possible. We would find places where no one was. Kids now don't care. They do it. No, y'all was wrong too. Y'all was wrong. It's two left shoes. Y'all shouldn't have been doing either. Y'all need to be held accountable. Y'all think that just because y'all did it a little bit less illegally than everybody else that y'all supposed to be bad. No, y'all was wrong as hell. Savannah says, what up, Anton? Do you have any insight on this Project 25 thing that everybody is in panic about with Trump? Nah, send it to me in my email. AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. Email it to me, big dog. All right, let's continue over with the show. Yeah, they don't be wearing deodorant. I know them Hebrew Israelites. I know who they are. Deodorant-less. Stinking. No Colgate on them teeth. And the last time that I've done. Anyways, I want to spend 10 minutes on this really quickly. Who the hell is running our country, y'all? Who's running the country? Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek. I don't know how to say it. If Brown was on my head top. On my head top. Vivek Ramaswamy had some insight the other day. And I thought that it was interesting because he asked a question that nobody really asked. And he asked it before the debate. And he said, listen, we know that it's difficult out there. And I'm going to also tell you this. We know it's difficult out there for Joe Biden. Shaking and moving, strutting up and down. I don't even know how they got him into the debate by being able to walk. I'm on one a day walk. I'm sorry. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to act nicer. And I was trying to figure out, he asked the question, he said, who is running the White House? And then no sooner than he asked, than I seen him ask that question, I seen this pop up on my algorithm. Shout out to This Might Be Risky. Definitely gonna be reading that super chat shortly, right after this segment. This popped up on my algorithm right after I read that and I seen him do that show. This popped up. You know a dude is out of his mind when he turn around and he do this. It take him 13 seconds to turn to the left. Man, get this Manchurian candidate up out of here. Listen, look at this elder abuse, y'all. Look at Jill parading out here, Joe, knowing he should have been asleep at 6:30 p.m.
I can't thank you all enough for staying and for being here and for all your support. Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew.
Y'all do realize that this is the person that's crafting public policy, that has to negotiate with Congress on the different laws that's passed on a daily basis, that determines whether or not we go into war and hit the button. Y'all know that this is the person that's competing against Putin and Kim Jong-un. She said, you answer every question. This is the person that is the leader of the free world.
All the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Lie! Yes. So, Joe, I'm going to hand it over to you because we have such a great group of supporters here. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. You've been here the whole time. I see it. I see that patch there. Look, folks, you know, I shouldn't say this, but my brother always uses lines from movies, There was a famous movie about John Wayne, and he's working for the Northern military, trying to get
Jesus Christ.
the Apaches back in the reservation, and they were lying like hell to them, and they're all sitting on a bluff, and John Wayne was sitting with two Indian, they were Apaches, and one of them looked at John Wayne and said, "These guys are nothing but lying, dog-faced pony soldiers." Except he's just a liar.
Who's running the country? That's the question that I have for y'all. Who the hell is running the country? Listen, I had a conversation with somebody this weekend. Close family member. Older, definitely above the age of 60, approaching 70. Okay, and I'm going to be absolutely honest. This is the honest to God truth. I hope you're not watching right now because I just got to be real. I had a conversation with a family member this weekend. And they said, "Anton, I watched your show and this and that and blah, 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 whatever, right?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah." They was like, "Yep, I was watching you on the debate. And you did such a good job during the stream and stuff." And I said, oh, I appreciate it. Then they said, "Listen, I don't know." They said, to have to choose between two of these candidates, but I will never turn my back on Joe. I can't turn my back on Joe. It's no way that I'm ever going to vote for Trump. And I said, "Well, what is it that you don't like about him? What is it that he did that affected you negatively?" "I just don't like him. I just don't like him." I said, "Well, the question that we have to ask ourselves," and I was just talking reasonably because I have a lot of respect for some of my family members. I said that the question that we have to reasonably ask ourselves is, would you let somebody that can't communicate or can't even put together a coherent sentence and can't even walk off the stage be the leader of the free world? Aside from the fact that we don't even agree with all of the stuff that I said, we don't support sassiness on a White House lawn. I mean, listen, we rock with the idea that everybody should be able to live their lives however they live it. But as far as what we represent in our family, we don't believe in sassiness. We don't believe in male on male bonding. That's what he hosts on a White House lawn. He was just out there with Billy Porter. I said, aside from the fact that we don't like his values, I said, what about all of the 15 to 20 million migrants that came over into this country? We don't believe in immigration, illegal immigration in this family. But I don't like Trump. I said, okay. Well, then I guess this is just, I don't like this guy, but this guy's values don't necessarily represent what it is that I'm going in, and he can't even put together a coherent sentence. I guess we just rolling with, we've been voting Democrat our whole lives as black people, and so that's just the way that we gonna rock. Seriously. They don't care. People above the age of 60, 55, 60, they are not reasonable. They don't even negotiate with logic. They don't. They don't negotiate with logic at all. Anton, what do you think about the term black jobs? I don't give a fuck. Who are you talking to? I know that people was doing incredibly well. Vivek asked a very serious question, and I think it's something that we need to explore.
Got to get back to the debate. Biden made gaffe after gaffe last night. Roll it.
What I'm going to do is fix the
I don't
tax
care about
system.
it. We've seen this 1,000 times.
We have 1,000 trillionaires and do with more border patrol and more.
My question is, though, how will the Democrats force him out before the election? How are they going to do it?
Well, the reality is, Stuart, the first step was having this debate in the first place. This is the earliest ever televised presidential debate in U.S. history, and the first one that occurred before the nominating convention of either party. That was not an accident. The Democratic camp, supposedly Biden's camp, but it was really the Democratic machine, argued for this and negotiated for this for a reason. The reality is they deserve to be honest with the American people now. Who is actually running the country? Who is in charge of the United States of America? After last night's debate, I don't think there's a single person at home who saw that who believes it's Joe Biden, because it's not. But we deserve a government that tells us the truth. And I think one of the concerning questions for right now, not even the election, I'm talking about today, the next few months leading up to the election, is who is actually leading the United States of America? The Democrats and the White House have not offered a clear answer to that question. And if they tell us that's Joe Biden, we now know that is a lie. And Americans, I think, demand the truth because our security determines and depends on it.
I don't think that that's an unreasonable question. Eric Daniels, I see you in the chat. Eric Daniels, my question to you is this. Who the F is running the White House? Kids is out of school, so we ain't even tripping about that. They sleep. They was out there doing takeovers in LA. We just going to have a real conversation. Here's my question. Who the F is running the free world? We know for a fact. And if y'all are okay with telling me that y'all don't know who running the free world and this is cool, then tell me that. But we know definitively that it is not Biden. Who running the country? Is it Jill, the wife? It ain't Joe. Hunter? Was Hunter running it? That's why the country in shambles? Was Hunter running the country? Is it Kamala? I know that they don't believe in Kamala because it was already rumblings coming out of the White House as soon as she hit the market, as soon as she got into office, that she was out there being a crazy black woman. It ain't God forbid it be Cam. Is it Obama? Is that why we having all of these sassy parties on the White House lawn? Gotta be Obama. Gotta be Obama. Maybe it's Michelle. Who is it? All of them together? Did they just get together in a group and sing Kumbaya? Who running the White House? Because you're not gonna sit here and tell me that Joe Biden, based off of what we seen in that debate, and everybody knew it, and all he did was confirm it when he got on that stage. Who is running the White House? That's all I want to know. I don't want to know nothing else until y'all could tell me who running the White House. That's all I want to know. That's my question for this week. Who is running the White House? I'm going to read some of these super chats, and I got another question before we get into the thick of it all. This might be risky. Shout out to This Might Be Risky. DJ Ham in the building. Salute to the show. What did the Hebrews do today for this smoke early in the AM? A provocative take for sure. Yellow Teeth is crazy. Salute to the grind. Hey, y'all go over there and check out This Might Be Risky. I think that Hamp is probably one of the best hosts. One of the best hosts that's out here in these streets, man. I appreciate you, big dog. High Tolerance says that man has officially entered buffering mode. He needs a quilt. He needs a quilt and he needs to sit down and start knitting. High Tolerance, and he needs to start walking in the mall in the mornings. You know how they walk in the mall in the mornings before the mall even open. Dems are emotionally charged when it comes to the polls. Most Republican policies align with the country's best interests. Dems will vote against the grain out of spite. I don't know why, though. Why do they do that? Jay Ben says, I've seen folks say they'll vote on Biden's corpse before they vote for Trump. I have too. And I seen them talk about it over the weekend. Supporting massa is crazy. Reps freed the slaves Dems wanted to keep. Me University says, Anton, you know America is a business. It is a business. It is absolutely a business. But at the same time, God, I don't want us to be doing this bad of a business. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get into the second to last conversation. Is Gavin the one that's really running things, or is Gavin up next? You know, one of the things that I think is happening, and one of the reasons why I think that people like Kamala Harris and even Gavin Newsom is willing to let this continue to go on is because I think that they next in line. I don't believe for 1 second, not even a little bit, that Kamala Harris gives a flying F about Joe Biden. I don't believe even a little bit that Gavin Newsom gives a flying F about Joe Biden. Not even a little bit. I seen the leader of the Democratic National Committee and the NAACP, and they say, we're not going to not support Joe. We love Joe. Man, listen, Joe Biden, and it's so funny. He's the greatest, my boy Kwame said he's the greatest politician of all time. The greatest politician of all time. This guy has spent a lifetime in politics. A lifetime in politics. And what's interesting about it is that the very things that we say we don't like Trump about is the very things that Joe Biden actually helped craft the law throughout his lifetime and have said and stood on the idea that he don't even care nothing about y'all. Our memories are so short to where we don't even remember some of the stuff that Joe Biden has said and what he's done. The legislation that's been put in place that has absolutely kept y'all under duress and y'all forgot about it just because you don't necessarily like Trump. You don't like what Trump says. You don't like that he liked to grab chicks by the pussy or something like that. I get it. I understand character is a big thing. It's 100% a big thing. And I think that if we was able to find somebody that have both great character and great policy, then that would be a win-win. I mean, that would be a shoo-in for the most part. And it's hard to find somebody that's not getting it in and busting down these porn stars. However, if I have to choose between somebody that is absolutely incoherent versus somebody that has great policy, but character could be a little bit questionable, I'm going to take the guy that's the great businessman, the guy who we can definitively look at the 4 years that they were in office and say those were some of the best years in our lifetime that allow for us to be able to be successful. But here's a sentiment on Gavin Newsom, because I think that Gavin Newsom is 10 times worse than Joe Biden. Check it out.
I will never turn my back on President Biden. Never turn my back on President Biden. I don't know a Democrat in my party that would do so, and especially after tonight. We have his back. We run not the 90-yard dash. We are all in. We're going to double down in the next few months. We're going to win this election.
All right, there you go. Gavin Newsom defending President Biden's train wreck debate performance somehow, some way. Newsom says Democrats are fully in support of Joe, even though the California governor has been mentioned as a possible replacement on the 2024 ticket should Biden step aside. But maybe Newsom should focus on fixing issues in his own state. For example, why people are choosing to leave one of the best states in the country, one of the best places in the world. There's a mass exodus. We're talking about nearly 800,000 people have left the Golden State since 2021, including a long list of celebrities, which really is what I guide my life by. Mark Wahlberg in really good shape, as is Dean Cain, Sylvester Stallone. Some of the A-listers saying goodbye. And Adam Carolla could be the next. The comedian, host of the Adam Carolla Show, fantastic podcaster, stand-up comedian, joins us now. Adam, welcome.
Thanks.
Do you really mean thanks?
Yeah.
Yes, I thought so.
You know I love doing your show.
Oh, absolutely. To see you in person in a suit is fantastic.
I put it on for you.
I'm honored.
And maybe Gutfeld.
Right.
But mostly you.
I appreciate it. So, Adam, people look at Newsom and said he looks the part, man. This guy's got everything going. What should we know about this governor? And are you astounded they keep saying he's the likely replacement should Biden fall flat on his face?
Are we really going to elect somebody because he looks the part? Are we electing people because he look the part? Even Eric Daniels is saying he's helped ruin California. Do y'all know what Gavin Newsom's track record has been? Gavin Newsom is the precursor to the downfall of San Francisco because he was the mayor of San Francisco. You know where you can't go nowhere without stepping on doo-doo in the middle of the street? Then Gavin Newsom became governor of California and proceeded to ruin every single thing that was even remotely good about the state of California. So much so to where they're operating at a massive multi-billion-dollar deficit today. And what is supposed to be the greatest economy, what is supposed to be the time where everybody is working and running it up and making money, and housing costs are at an all-time high, which means that you're collecting crazy amounts of property taxes. California is operating at a deficit, and not just a small one, not 100 million, not 200 million, not even a billion, not 10. It's more like between 45 and 65, and conservative estimates are placing it above that. And they're saying that Gavin Newsom is supposed to be a shoo-in, because we already know at some point he's going to run for president of the United States of America. They're saying that Gavin Newsom, and one of the reasons why his loyalty is so unwavering, is because he's supposed to be the next up in line between him and Cam in order to run the United States of America.
Well, he's kind of the face of politics and everything that's wrong with politics, which is just this weird aesthetic and a sort of, I'd like to have a beer with that guy versus anything good in the policy department. He's a disaster in the policy department. Newsom is. He's an empty bag. He's a 10-cent head, but he's mainly a sociopath. I've interviewed him on my podcast.
You took him apart.
I did, because he lied, and then he lied, and then he doubled down, and he had no solutions. And he brought up a problem, tried to get some points, score some like intersectional points on it. And when I kept pressing him as to what the solution or the answer was, he had nothing. But he is kind of perfect for California, because Californians are sort of vapid and dumb and, superficial, and they're dumb enough to vote for a guy like this.
So interesting. He's got 44% approval rating. Now everyone is coming no longer in Texas. They wired it up. They're now pouring through, in terms of illegal aliens, through San Diego, where you get free education, free room, free board, free health care. How do people feel about paying their tax dollars into that?
Y'all do realize that everything that they say is free is not free. It's all being paid for by somebody. Every single thing that y'all think is free is not free. It's being paid for by somebody. So even though a politician may take credit for the thing that we pay an egregious amount of taxes for, they'll say it's free. Free healthcare has never been free. Free food is being paid for by somebody. Everything has to be paid for by somebody. Have you noticed that even in a recession, or even when prices go down or housing prices go down, that property taxes don't? Everything is being paid for by somebody. So when you get these migrants in there, or you get free Medicaid or free Medicare for the migrants, or for people that's not even supposed to be here, somebody got to foot the bill.
Well, what they don't understand is when you create, homeless, let's just really break
we didn't
it
break
down.
the homeless.
Homeless and illegals. But I mean, if you don't have a home, then you're homeless. So you get to go wherever you want. You go back.
First of all, they call them unhoused now. It's improper to call them homeless.
Home tonight. I go back home tonight, but if I'm homeless, I'll go where the wind takes me. And if the getting is good in California, if they're giving me luxury condos to live in and all the handouts and free needle exchanges and everything else, then I'll just drift over to California. So California imports homelessness.
It attracts it. When he said he was going to solve it, how do you project if it is Trump Newsom? How does that go?
I think Trump destroys him. I mean, Newsom's a sociopath. He's ruined California, and he wants to franchise. So it's basically like saying, I built the world's worst taco stand in California, and now I'm going nationwide with them. and no one's buying what he's selling. Michelle Obama or somebody like that, maybe that's a different story.
She has no interest, I don't think, if we're to take her by her word. So, Adam, you're a stand-up comedian. Well established. I usually think guys like you are beyond the heckler. But not only is that not true these days, it's not even true for someone like Seinfeld. Overseas, selling out big arenas, now getting heckled because he's Jewish, he's proud of it, and he's sticking up for the Israelis. And it's followed him again. He's getting hecklers standing up in Australia and beyond. Here's an example.
You're in the wrong place. Here's the other thing I think you need to go back and tell who's ever running your organization. We just gave more money to a Jew. a good plan for you.
You know, it's interesting, for news guys, sometimes you get protests, you get yelled at. I get it. For Jerry Seinfeld's the most benign observational comedian around,
I think that, to be honest with you guys, well, I'll save that commentary for the next segment of the show, for the final segment of the show. Let me read a few of these super chats, and then I'm going to tell y'all my thoughts. Because I was going to save this commentary for tomorrow, but I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are in the next segment of the show. Kung Fu Hustler is in the building. Shout out to Kung Fu Hustler. Says this comes across like a high school pep rally. It's all bad out here in these streets. Shout out to Miss Crow T. Shetty. Says, I feel like we are in that Black Mirror episode, the Waldo moment with these politics. I feel like every day is a Black Mirror moment or a Matrix moment. Shout out to Secret Truth supporting the show. Thank you, my friend. Delta Fox is in the building. Says, I left San Diego for Las Vegas last year. Had I stayed, I would have paid $35,000 in state taxes. Nobody sees where the tax money goes in California. It's going to luxury homeless buildings. High Tolerance says, last thing we need to hear from this man as president is getting a blow and go by some transformer in the parking lot. Thank you, High Tolerance. Says, join from CA, hope Newsom don't go up for president. Shout out to you. Will get into it. Shout out to Will. Says, give Anton his $30 million. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. The best day to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. We are dropping the actual information and location of the Patreon meetup today. Had to make sure that we made sure that all of the Dusty Dusties was gone so we can make sure that we run it up. Location of the Patreon meetup is dropping today. Stock Club is happening this week. Video dropping this week. Make sure y'all tap into the Discord. Link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos. And we're going to run it up. All right. So last but not least, we always like to make it a little bit more lighthearted and relaxing for the end of the show. Who paying for all of these vacations? Where are people? Because everybody's saying that they broke. And I'm wondering where all of these people are getting all of this money from in order to pay for these vacations. And no sooner than I had that thought, I seen a video drop on my timeline for CNBC as far as how people are paying for their lifestyle and their vacations. Check it out.
The average vacation cost for one person in the United States is a little under $2,000 per week.
More than a third of summer vacationers, 36%, are willing to take on debt this summer for their travels. The reason that's worrisome is because the average credit card charges over 20%, which is close to a record high. I don't want to tell people they can't have any fun, but this represents a lot of people taking on expensive debt. And this is the kind of thing that can linger.
Globally, 72% of millennials and 65% of Gen Zs said they plan on spending more on leisure travel in 2024.
You know, one thing I don't want to hear y'all ever say to me again is stop telling me that y'all plan on paying off y'all entire credit card and that you only using it for points. It's the biggest lie that I hear people tell me. One of the biggest lies. Actually, it's the second biggest lie. The first biggest lie that I hear people tell me is, man, I'm going to leave her alone. Every day, y'all get on these coaching calls and I say, hey, fam, what you mean? You talking to a step baby mama and she cheating on you? Oh, yeah, but I'm so connected to the kid. All right, whatever. Let's move on. The second biggest lie that I hear y'all tell me is that, oh, no, I'm just going to get it and I'm going to pay off my balance in full every single month. I'm not going to pay no interest. Lies. Lies. Absolute positive lies. 100%. It's the biggest lie that I hear people tell me.
Compared to 2023. In the U.S., 47% of millennials and 42% of Gen Zs said they plan to take on debt to go on summer vacation.
It's insane.
There are so many compelling reasons why people choose to take on debt to have these vacations. Your kids are dreaming of going to Disney World, and there's no way the family could ever really swing it without going into debt. It could be a memory the family will have forever. Parents often can rationalize spending in these terms for their children.
Here's how Americans are paying for their summer vacations.
I better do a staycation.
Credit cards are the most common way people pay for their vacations. 62% of Americans surveyed said they put at least some of their trip on a credit card.
All of it.
Financial experts say that this can be a risky move if the borrower cannot pay the balance in time to not be charged interest.
The average credit card balance is already over $6,000, according to TransUnion. If you add $1,000 in vacation expenses to that, maybe it feels like a drop in the bucket, but it just makes it that much harder. That's $6,200. If you make minimum payments at the average interest rate of 20.7%, you're going to be in debt for 18 years, and you're going to pay more than $9,000 in interest. So some of this is making...
Imagine paying $9,000 on interest and defaulting and having to file for bankruptcy on a $6,000 credit card payment. You're going to pay $15,000 for $6,000. That sounds like good math to me.
Bad situation worse.
The debt feels like this trade-off for a lot of people. It's ultimately the interchange between money for these lifelong memories and seminal experiences. And that's a sacrifice many are not only willing to make, but feel so strongly in doing so. Especially when debt is a weight many people are already accustomed to carrying.
Consumers are still out there using their credit cards. Their credit card balances are over $1 trillion now. We're seeing actual delinquencies on credit now rising. People are dipping into their savings. But bottom line is that they're still spending.
Not all credit card users are paying interest. 43% of Americans said they used their credit cards to pay for their trips, but paid it off in full to avoid interest.
Cap.
This also comes with the perk of accumulating rewards points.
Use those rewards points and miles. Put those to use.
Let me tell you something, bro. This is my opinion. And this is, I'm going to tell well over 2,000 of y'all that's listening to me right now. This is my personal opinion. I think that there's going to be a massive correction, and I think that it's going to be worse than 2008. I don't know when. I don't know if it happens within the next year, 2 years. I don't know if it happens within the next 5 years. I definitely think it's going to happen within the next 8 years, 8 to 10 years. And I'm preparing for it. Within the next 8 to 10 years, and this is just my personal opinion, I think that there's going to be a massive, and when I say massive, massive correction. All right? Number one, on a very basic level, the only people that are going to be successful, or the only people that's going to be able to survive this gnashing of teeth, are going to be people that are not under duress or depending on the system in order for them to survive. That's number one. All right. And I hate to say this because I've believed this for a long time, and this is a conversation that I usually have with my bag chasers. It's going to be three types of people in a situation. For the overwhelming majority, and I think that over 90% of people, they're going to be suffering. And I think it's going to be worse than 2008. Because you can't continue to have this pyramid scheme and this house of cards being built up on nothing. Our currency is not even supported by anything except for our belief in it. And so as soon as that belief goes away, because it's not backed by nothing. It used to be backed by precious metals in our U.S. Treasury. Now it's backed by our belief in it. And so from a worldwide perspective, unfortunately, also on top of that, as the United States goes, the rest of the world goes. And so as long as you have this thing being built up on a house of cards, all you need is for one thing to be kicked out from under it. And that's why they keep trying to prop up the economy. They keep trying to sell y'all on jobs, but they're not focusing on the national debt. They keep trying to tell y'all on inflation, but they're not really telling y'all why we have inflation in the first place. They keep trying to bring in a slave culture, but that's just because don't nobody want to continue to do the same jobs over and over again. And so what I believe is going to happen is that there's going to be a massive, and when I say massive, I believe it's going to be worse than 2008. And the only way that you can prepare yourself for it is the second way, right? Is that A, you have to become less dependent on cash. One of the things that we've been taught is the amount of money that you make is the thing that then substantiates whether or not you have any value. So when you hear these women or you hear these conversations and they say, well, they used to say it, I want a man that makes six figures. Or I want a man that make more than $100,000 a year. Or you got to do this. You got to do this. Or you got to be a boss chick. Or you got to be that. All y'all doing is aligning your lifestyle with whatever the amount of money that you make, but it doesn't even mean anything because the value of the dollar continues to go down. So whereas it used to be a big deal for y'all to make $100,000 a year, $100,000 a year now feel like 50. It feels like 50. And I warned y'all of this 2 to 3 years ago. It feels like 50. Most people that make $100,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. That's a fact. And of course, I know that a lot of it is lifestyle choices and it's the choice that you make and what you decide to do with your money. But I'm trying to tell you, the minute that you stop valuing cash is the minute that you start freeing yourself from the woes of how people are living their lives. Well, what do you mean by cash, Anton? Well, what I mean is that the only way that you can survive a correction is by continuing to invest in assets. The reason that assets are important is because when the value of the dollar continues to go down, inflation continues to go up. So whereas the dollar doesn't necessarily validate the fact that you can live the same lifestyle because the dollar doesn't stretch as far anymore. And, if you need a basic refresher on inflation, then we can dig into that later. But my point is that the less valuable the dollar becomes or currency becomes, which is one of the reasons why we're trying to move digital, which we having a hard time doing it, the higher value your assets become. So for example, I decide to invest in real estate, right? And the one thing that I know for sure is that no matter what, people are going to need a place to stay. The less valuable your currency becomes, the more valuable the assets that you have are. And so the only people that can then survive is the ones that keep up with the rate of inflation or beat the rate of inflation. On top of that, they continue to offer something that people need. Because if you then start to become interdependent on the government, or you start to become interdependent on companies, or you start to become interdependent on other people in order to feed yourself, and there's nothing there for them to give you, such as what happened in 2008, then that's when you start seeing the gnashing of the teeth. You start seeing more national debt continue to go up because they got to prop up the economy. Some businesses that we have is too big to fail, like banks, because that's basically the whole value of the American system now, because we don't actually make anything inside the United States of America anymore. And so the point that I'm telling all of y'all is that if you don't start making different lifestyle choices, if everything you do is based off of how you feel, I gotta have a vacation, I'm tired of working, instead of leveraging the opportunities that you have right now in order to put yourself in a better position. You know why I'm building a compound, honestly? Is because I see this happening and I see this coming within the next 10 years to where basically I'll have guest houses, I'll have compounds, I've been buying up land, I've been building up houses and all of this stuff. And one of the reasons why I'm building a compound is because I want to have a place for my family to go to, and not just my family, my immediate family, but also my extended family to go to, just in case they're having trouble. They'll always have a shelter, a place over their head. That's the honest to God truth. It's the honest to God truth. My lifestyle have always been, as far as my living expenses and the square footage that I need to live, has always been based off of quality, not quantity. So I don't need a huge house, but I see it. And I always need a place for my people to go. And I'm going to have to make the decision that a lot of other people are overlooking because they so focused on having a good time instead of being focused on preparing. There's always feast and famine. It's always feast and famine. You know what? That's true, R-Dub. That is absolutely true. I just look up on the screen and I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Let me move past this scene real quick.
But it doesn't make sense to...
All right. It's always feast and famine. Always. When there's good times, it's biblical. You have to start preparing, and it doesn't mean that you can't live a good life, but you don't have to blow everything. And so when you're feasting, you have to make sure that you're investing and you putting up the type of money that's going to also be able to sustain you and making the right decisions that's going to sustain you when you have famine. I don't know any time in history during people's lifetimes to where they did not have famine at the same time that they had feasting at some point. And it's always the famine lasts much longer than the feasting. All I'm telling y'all is that it's going to be bad out here. I believe it. I believe that it's going to get worse before it gets better. And we can't keep going in this direction without at some point having a correction. And that comes with everything. That comes with the stock market. I've been telling y'all, and I'm going to have a deeper conversation with y'all on Stock Club this week when we rock out. I've been telling y'all on Stock Club that we take profits. We still remain invested. We still dollar cost average, but we take out our profits when we hit. When we hit for that 40% jump, I took a huge amount of profits out of that. That's the second time that I didn't capitalize off of Second time I didn't capitalize off of a bump in that price. We take profits and then we start to continue the dollar cost average into the things that we actually care about, and we run it up. We absolutely run it up. So let me see if there's anything else to mine out of this thing.
Pay 20% interest just to get 2 or 3 or 4% cash back or airline miles.
In order to avoid interest while still having more time to pay off the credit card balance, some vacationers choose to open a new credit card that provides them with 0% interest for a set period of time.
The risk here is that once the term expires, the rate goes way up.
And make sure that y'all for all of the 2,000 plus people that's watching this right now, right this very second, I need y'all to do 2 things. I want y'all to make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. Some people are saying that they're not getting notifications that I'm live and that they got to come and seek me out. I get it. I don't complain about it. It just is what it is. If y'all not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and then make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, and then make sure that you turn on your notifications. Subscribe right now. Right now. Hit the button. Hit the subscribe button. Oh, shout out to everybody that got me past $300,000 subscribers on the Anton Daniels channel over the weekend. I appreciate y'all. Try not to make too much of a big deal about it. So make sure y'all do that. And for those of y'all that's been waiting to join the Bag Chasers, the best day of the month to join the Bag Chasers is the beginning of the month. Make sure that you tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's get into it.
Another option vacationers are considering is taking out a loan for their trip. 5% of vacationers plan to take out a personal loan from a financial institution.
I'm not even going to watch the rest of this. This is stupid. Y'all taking out personal loans to go on vacation? Who are you trying to impress? Who are y'all trying to impress with taking out a personal loan to go on vacation? Who y'all trying to impress? Look, man, here's the truth. You don't have to go into a foreign country in order to be able to have fun. You don't have to go on vacation. You don't have to take a flight. That's something that's been preached to y'all. You do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. And I'm not telling you not to take a vacation, but I'm saying that you need to evaluate your personal goals and if it fits into it. It used to be the narrative is that white people plan for their vacation. So they were planning well over a year out. They had a vacation fund. They don't just wing it. They don't just show up to somewhere with no money. They plan it out and they actually stack it up and they say, okay, so we're going to take 2 or 3 places. We're going to take the family here. We're going to take the family there. A lot of people be wondering, how do y'all spend so much money on Disney World? Well, they put together a budget for that and then they plan a year ahead of time and they get their tickets at the right time when all of y'all is not traveling, not when everybody get their tax refunds, and then they make the adjustment. Y'all better start having some staycations. You better become a tourist in your own city. It's so many free things to do. You don't even have to spend money in order to have fun. The fun is in the people that go. The fun is in your sentiment. You can have fun doing anything. You can have fun doing anything. You don't have to spend money to have fun. Why do y'all think that y'all got to blow a bag in order to have fun? If you can't afford it, stop, bro. Stop. You're not ready. I always put a milestone on everything that I do. So I don't buy a car until I reach a certain milestone. I don't even buy a watch. That's my reward. So once I hit this financial goal or once I hit this thing, that's why my watches mean so much to me, is because it represents a time in my life where I accomplished certain things. I didn't buy my first Rolex until I hit a certain level in corporate America. You can't afford to go on vacation, family. Just because everybody else is doing it don't mean that you should. Trust me, you will appreciate it when you get older, when you're in a position of power. And I always say this, and I'm going to leave y'all with this. I always say this too, right? What you do when you're younger ultimately compounds what you become when you get older. So if you're making an initial investments and once you hit that number and you start to become incredibly successful, it's going to start to translate. Everything compounds over a period of time. Whatever decision that you made in your 20s is ultimately the thing that you're going to either reap or you're going to suffer from when you get in your 40s and 50s. I cannot tell you how many people, and I was telling Rita just yesterday before I came down here, I told Rita, I said, listen, man, I wish X person would just get their life together and start investing in themselves. Forget the vacations. Forget the cars. The cars is going to be there. They're not going to stop making sweet cars. I promise you. They're not going to run out of cars to sell you. They're not going to run out of jewelry. They're not going to run out of lifestyle. They're not going to just sit down for 1 second. I wish this person would just invest in their future. I wish they would make sure that they put more money into their 401k. I wish this person would actually do this and do that. Man, they would be so much better off as a result of it. I be wishing for y'all to do the thing that's in your own best interest sometimes. I was just telling her yesterday, I said, man, I wish that they were smarter. I wish that they was wiser. All of this, blah, 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 blah. But all I can do is tell you. Let me read some of the super chats and then I'm going to get y'all up out of here because I love y'all. The name Joe says, for the collection plate. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you, big dog. Tris Kushranada says, AD, Room 9 should have... Room 9 should have a segment for the idiotic comments. Room 9 dropping a new video today, big dog. Spacer says, I'm pausing to just get past that. It's still hilarious. Man, we got to get that junk up off our screen. Maybe demons coming through the screen. Shout out to my girl, Molly, all up in her drink. She ain't even know it. Jay Ben says, ain't seen some folks outside since PPP loans. Yeah, because they was out there capping. And every year after April, everybody go broke all of a sudden, and then they start financing everything and getting their credit cards. Also want to give an acknowledgement to, give me a second. I just want to make sure that I acknowledge the Cash Apps because the people be supporting me on all different platforms. Mika Rambert, thank you, Mika. Mika says, for graduating in June and passed my MP certification. Shout out to everybody that's winning and doing it great. I appreciate y'all and every supporter of the platform. Again, if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you do so. The best day to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. And more information dropping on the Patreon today. And then we got Stock Club later on this later on this week. Also, I want to give a shout out to my dog, Charles Blanco. Says, good morning and happy Monday. I'm on staycation now. Ain't nothing wrong with having a staycation. Listen, we gonna go ahead. We gonna have we're going to dress up this house. We're going to clean it up. A lot of times, like, it reminds me of a rental car, right? Like, people will go out of town and rent a dope car and then to come home and won't even clean up the car that they got at the crib. You would actually like your stuff if you cleaned it up. If you vacuumed, you know what I'm saying, get some disinfectant spray, clean the windows, take care of your stuff a little bit more, you would actually like it. It wouldn't seem like it's old hat to you. Same thing with your spouse. Ooh, same thing with your spouse. If she cleaned up a little bit, she wouldn't seem so old hat. Keep coming out the house with bonnets every day. Keep making problems, being so disruptive and combative. If she just put on a little bit of lipstick, eyeliner, not butterfly eyelashes, ironed her clothes, got in the shower, put on some deodorant, watched her coochie, and brushed her teeth, man, you would see a whole new woman. It would look like a woman that you ain't never seen before. But she's so frumpy. So frumpy. Why are you so frumpy? She's so frumpy. It would seem like you got a brand new woman if she just brushed her teeth, put some soap in between her legs, and put a bra on so your titties not touching your knees. And shout out to LaShad Tooks. Appreciate the information. Thank you, LaShad. I appreciate you, big dog. Pick up her titties off of the floor, put a bra on, put some panties on, and comb your hair. Comb your hair. You take that same approach when it comes to your cars. Clean your car up, let it run through the car wash, get all of that dust and grime, get the weed smoke out of it, and take care of your stuff. Just take care of your stuff and it'll be all good. You're going to look like a brand new person. You're going to get a whole new energy. You're going to want to do better. All of that. Don't just get dialed up to come and kick it with me at the meetup. Now you want to get on your best behavior. Ooh, I got dressed up just to come and hug on you ain't time. Yeah, but when you go home to your man, you be looking all frumpy and you put on that wig that you got on back again, baby. Give him the same energy you give me. Don't show up for me and then don't show up for him. Don't show up for me and then don't show up for me and then don't show up for him. You know what I'm saying, Charles Blanco? Don't show up for me and then don't show up for him. Show up for him too. Shout out to Classy Beat. Says, congrats on hitting 300,000. Wow. My dog Classy Beats. Chat for more says, could you go over when to buy assets and what type of assets to buy while paying off debt or after paying off debt on the Patreon? I sure can. 100%. I also want to say, Miss Crow T. Shetty, thank you, Miss Crow T. Shetty, for supporting the platform. I appreciate you. And that's it. That's all I got for you today. So I gave y'all a whole 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I hope y'all enjoyed the show. But we're going to be back at it tomorrow because we do it Monday through Friday, 7 days a week. All right? Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Take care of each other. Run that bag up and don't fumble it. Peace.